Welcome to this week's edition of Appleseed Legacy. My name is Gordon Spicer, and I'm here to bring you the good green news. Lots to cover this week, so let's go. In business news this week, as reported by TheGuardian.com, IKEA is optimistic enough now to have begun selling solar panels in its UK stores, which is pretty much a miracle given all the rain in the UK. Meanwhile, as reported by RenewableEnergyWorld.com, the BRICS Development Bank has decided to provide almost $1 billion in financing for green projects in developing nations. In other news from InterestingEngineering.com, the massive changes in solar investment in India are proving once and for all that solar is more cost-effective than coal. Also, as reported by Autoblog.com, Renault has now sold its 50,000th Zoe electric car, providing strong competition for Nissan in the European market. Finally, from WSJ.com, job losses are piling up in Texas due to plummeting price of oil, but that hasn't stopped thousands of skilled oil riggers from finding work in solar now, with massive investment in utility-scale solar projects being launched in the state.
You know what? It doesn't stop here, and it's all good news.
In science news this week, as reported by phys.org, researchers from the University of California have come up with battery technology which can be recharged hundreds of thousands of times, therefore never needing replacement. Meanwhile, as reported by Indiegogo.com, researchers who found funding on that website have come up with a method to charge your cell phone while being plugged into a plant using the byproducts of photosynthesis. In other news from TheGuardian.com, underground urban farms are sprouting up in the UK now, including home delivery service from former air raid shelters, where investors have planted the farms. Also, as reported by Gizmag.com, believe it or not, physics researchers have now created the smallest engine in the world, based on a single atom at the core. Finally, from CBSNews.com, the Solar Impulse 2 has now finished its journey across the Pacific Ocean. The 62-hour flight from Hawaii was completed without any fuel except the built-in solar panels on the plane. With news like this, we are going to win the game. Check out our mission at AppleseedLegacy.com. Jump into our newsreaders too, updated daily. Check us out. In society news this week, as reported by theglobeandmail.com, a new outline by the province of Ontario will set the mandate for a new provincial agency designed to overhaul energy use. Meanwhile, as reported by NewYorkTimes.com, China, the biggest greenhouse gas country in the world, has now restricted plans to create or complete any new coal plants. In other news from TheHill.com, the U.S. Senate has now voted to increase funding for wind energy, also keeping wind R&D at its current level. While TheGuardian.com reports on the fact that San Francisco has now adopted a law requiring solar panels on all new buildings. Finally, OneGreenPlanet.org reports on the work of Danish politicians to create a climate tax to achieve lower meat intake, as animal farming is responsible for 18% of greenhouse gases, being the leading cause of them in the world. In technology news this week, as reported by TechCrunch.com, NASA has now chosen to invest in advanced solar electric propulsion technology for deep space missions. Meanwhile, as reported by InterestingEngineering.com, a company in Denmark has started developing energy systems that use the power of the waves and that can be attached to offshore wind turbines, increasing the ROI on these investments. In other news from ScientificAmerican.com, microgrids are now starting to pop up in Brooklyn as the city of New York is trying to promote decentralized power production. Also, as reported by Money.cnn.com, Airbus and Siemens have now decided to invest in R&D towards a hybrid electric airplane that will carry 100 passengers. Finally, a report from TheGuardian.com discusses the massive rooftop greenhouse developed atop The Hague, complete with a sprawling fish farm operation.